The tank's moving. The tank's moving.
The fuck
Move with it.
Oh my
tank
God.
come
There's
from,
a Humvee.
bro?
Jimmy, get out of combat. Jimmy, get out of combat.
I'm killing the tank. Dude.
One thing that you'll find me saying is X game is a horror game. I'll call League of Legends a horror game in the right scenario. Catch me in a do or die situation, I'll say Street Fighter is a horror game. Or a neck-to-neck race in Forza is horrifying to the 10th degree. But Battlebit Remastered, this is a horror game. Battlebit Remastered is probably going to get described as Battlefield meets Roblox constantly. And that's definitely it. Huge 127 versus 127 battles, vehicles, and realistic factors to account for, such as bullet drop, bullet velocity, and other gun-related aspects. I didn't think I'd have as much fun in Battlebit over Battlefield or any other shooter. I never liked the size and weight of Battlefield, as a matter of fact, after the initial honeymoon phase had ended. However, Battlebit draws too many parallels, but I haven't felt any of the burnout. If anything, the more I play Battlebit, the more I just want to keep going, and the one more match mentality takes over. Battlebit boasts 3 match sizes from 32 versus 32, 64 versus 64, and the enormous 127 versus 127. That's 254 people in the same map, and that's why I say Battlebit is a horror game. The 32-man matches are pretty grounded, but are still intense with smaller map sizes and a smaller map pool. But with 64 or 127 bullets flying across the screen at any given moment that could kill you, you'll find yourself tempted to pull the trigger just to find success amongst the chaos. If your teammates around you are shooting and you aren't, you're losing. Loading into a match of Battlebit, you'll be placed in a squad, either with your buddies or with random players. At the bottom, you have your 6 classes: Leader, Assault, Medic, Engineer, Support, and Recon. Within a squad, you can only have 1 leader and a certain amount for each other class. The class you pick determines which primary weapon types and gadgets you'll have access to, as well as your armor class. Leaders are the leaders and they lead. And therefore, if you lose, you can scream at them for not leading effectively. They can ping objectives to get their squad focused on winning, but 9 times out of 10, especially with randoms, they're just going to play team deathmatch. Though technically that does help you win. They can use assault rifles and marksman rifles in addition to a special pair of binoculars that will reveal the distance of your target for the purposes of spotting. Assault is your basic shooter McShooty man with assault rifles. There isn't much to say. They have a sledgehammer and a pickaxe for making their own doors or peek holes respectively, and down the road they get a riot shield, but I have yet to see this in action as that's behind rank 100. Everyone screams for them, nobody thanks them. Every class can revive their allies, but medics do so much faster and can also heal them back to full health with their medical kits that they can hold onto or toss onto the ground so that they can stay in a fight. They can rock assault rifles, submachine guns, PDWs, which are not submachine guns, and carbines, which include the Scorpion Evo, which is definitely not a submachine gun. Engineers have assault rifles, submachine guns, and marksman rifles for a long-distance approach with RPGs to destroy anything, and I mean anything. Use an RPG and you can make a hole in the building, a tank, a helicopter, a human being, whatever you choose. You can also opt for a repair tool to fix your own porous vehicles after the hostile engineers have done the same thing. Support's got the big guns with light machine guns and support guns, plus portable ammo boxes to keep the bullets and grenades and rockets flying. These ammo boxes can restore ammo, bandages, grenades, and your gadgets for a supply point cost. Recons are snipers and therefore they snipe.
Yep. I'm gonna go for it. Give me cover. Give me cover.
Look at Steam. This shit looks weird.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Update.
If you suddenly die and don't know why, it was most likely one of them. Bolt-action snipers plus marksman rifles accompany the MDX-201 gadget, which looks like a trophy system, and in retrospect, I violently wish it was one. But instead, it mimics scope glare to bait other snipers. It also has a drone for making sick GoPro footage of the battlefield. This applies to all guns, but being at a distance, bullet drop and velocity will matter immensely. You might not realize it, but you can calibrate your weapons with a method called zeroing. It'll be hard to eyeball, but if you can best match your target's distance with your zero setting, it'll compensate for bullet drop for easier aiming. There is also a rangefinder accessory that you can unlock for your weapons after you get a certain amount of kills that will help with zeroing much more. As you level, you'll unlock more guns, equipment, and of course camos. At rank 200, you'll be able to then prestige and be able to join my quickscoping clan as long as you have a 10 or higher KDA. Weapon attachments are going to come from kills with each individual weapon, and they do modify the gun's characteristics. I personally opt for anything that improves accuracy and bullet velocity to help minimize the need to lead shots, and I deal with the recoil myself. You, however, might like to get a lot of recoil control from your attachments, and you'll deal with the rest of the side effects later on. And you'll be able to rack up those kills to unlock attachments fast once you select a deployment, either at a capture point, your team's default spawn, a leader placed rally point, or on a squad member that's not currently in combat. This screen is a bit rough, but it works well enough. The game seems to have an inconsistent criteria for when an ally is in combat, as you can definitely spawn on someone in the middle of a firefight, but sometimes they shoot one bullet in the middle of nowhere and the game thinks that they're the last Spartan on reach. But if you place me in the middle of a desert, surrounded by enemies and no allies in sight, it's pretty much the finale of Reach. From cities to deserts, forests, swamps, and even industrial factories, each map provides benefits and detriments to various different tactics. A lane-focused city such as the center of the Sandy Sunset map makes sniping a bit more difficult, with narrow pathways and plenty of buildings to dip in and out of, which is a benefit to those with a liking to a faster paced, close quarter style. With the plethora of weapon attachments, you can definitely make a setup that will work for anything though. There aren't any presets you can make, so you have to adjust on the fly often, but the delayed spawns buy you a little bit more time and the matches are long, about 20 to 30 minutes in the 124-man game mode at least. With enough bargaining, you might even convince your server to flip the light switch and play on the dark variant of any map. The game provides night vision goggles no matter what, so you always have sight, which is easily rendered useless once a Mothman certified flare gets chucked out. Though lasers, tracer rounds, and explosions litter the map, it provides a nice change of pace every so often and it provides amazing visual set pieces. I can see the frustrations though with the variant, as the usual list of main scopes can't be used with night vision goggles active, meaning people who prefer longer range are forced to use short range optics to still see with the night vision, which in turn makes the sniper experience rough. And of course, with maps being so open and with this many players, you had to prepare yourself to die randomly and suddenly. With enough skill or luck, anyone can hit a shot from anywhere on the map as long as they have a clean line of sight on you. That goes for snipers all the way down to a pistol. And that's cursed as hell. Snipers with long range scopes can be spotted with a glare that is visible through anything that isn't a solid object, so trees can actually keep you safe, but it will snitch on the snipers. If you do die though, to get back into the fight, you can use a small catalog of vehicles in the larger maps from ATVs, jet skis, Humvees, APCs, tanks, and the what goes up must come down helicopters.
Is this just a transport one? Look at him.
Yes!
Shit!
Oh my god!
Where?
I haven't flew.
Nobody knows how to drive or fly, but the weaponry on the APCs, tanks, and helicopters can actually turn the tides of a fight pretty easily, as long as the engineers don't do their jobs properly. Otherwise, you're just straight coasting from point to point. Iro, you a brave dude. Oh my god, the tank! The tank! The tank!
Oh shit!
The tank is going!
Where's the tank?
Oh, shit. Guys, I'm alive! I'm alive!
And point to point you will move, with the main game modes being some form of domination. What will change is the selection of maps, mostly determinant on the map size. The map size will shift the amount of points to hold and what types of vehicles will be available. The center points are usually the biggest point of action, but do not sleep on the tactic of taking the squad to bunker down on a single point and playing defense. You may just single-handedly win the game. The smaller 32 vs 32 playlist, there's also a game mode called Cash Run, which is like Kill Confirmed, but you need to deposit your cash from kills in order to win. But let's circle back to what I mentioned at the start of the video. Battlebit Remastered is a horror game.
You just gotta let me on a good spot. You gotta let me on a good spot.
I don't like that rumbling. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy...
I don't think I like this map.
The e-girls, they got me.
I don't know if I like this map.
It's easy to get caught up in the action, and the moment-to-moment confusion compounds fast at control points in the nighttime maps.
What?
Oh,
Those are the peak of it all.
I didn't see my
You're in a bad spot.
Get up! I can't fight! I can fight! Shit!
I got you, Cross. I got you. Oh, wait, no, I'm bandaging myself now.
I can't fight anymore!
Dead.
Oh, fuck.
Stay alive.
Medic!
Stay alive, Joe. Stay alive.
Medic!
Oh, you're
Oh my god. Oh my god.
My thing ticked out.
No.
It ticked out.
Medic!
I'm on.
They're
here! They're on the stairs! They're on the stairs!
They're coming in! They're coming in!
Oh my god.
One more.
I need a revive behind you guys. I got it. Don't worry.
Who let it
Just chill, relax.
Wait, why are we going backwards?
Holy shit, this
Because
man
I was
can't
gonna
drive.
die!
Oh, let him drive.
Damn it. God damn it.
It's very easy to try to bunker down in a building only to lose all 4 walls from RPGs or tanks or even a Humvee that decides to take matters into his own hands and meet you face to face. It doesn't matter how many times I play on the map, I feel like every time I play, I find a new angle that I could get caught out from, and then all of a sudden this paranoia builds up no matter where I am, where I'm checking this angle and this angle and that angle and this window and that alleyway just to see if there's someone there, and it gets really hectic. All this talk about chaos though isn't saying that there's not room for, say, a organized milsim group to come in and make this their playground, because there's plenty of tools to make it all stick, and I'd actually love to partake in something like this. There's strength in numbers in Battlebit, but there's even more strength in cohesion. I think a full 124 versus 124 server with a heavy milsim focus could be absolutely phenomenal, and if anybody has that in the works somehow, please let a brother know. I'd love to play or watch, because I think that'd be peak Battlebit, especially on the nighttime maps. All this isn't to say that the game is perfect. I think the time to kill could use some adjustment, but I'll give you a different answer as to how it needs to be adjusted match to match. Armor values change from class to class, and obviously different guns are going to deal with said armor better than others. When you get hit, there's a chance to start bleeding, which serves the purpose of putting you on a timer to disengage the enemy and become vulnerable while you bandage yourself, but I find it to be more of an unnecessary factor when most classes can't heal themselves anyways, and level seems to be very much on the grindy side. At the top, the game does record your voice for moderation purposes, which is extremely off-putting, but it is an opt-in system. However, that's all I really have to complain about at the moment. I haven't run into any bugs or exploits that I noticed, and the only real detriment that gets to me is when everyone is screaming at the start of a match because I only have so many F keys to mute them all with.
Oh, we're playing. They do it on the fly. It's like actually really fucking good.
So immediately deploying when you're stacked up with everyone else is the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was absolutely horrible.
I'm gonna wait.
Oh my god. And all of that aside, Battlebit has 100% been worth my time and money thus far. No game I could think of has put me at risk of losing my voice at 2 or 3 in the morning. The chaos alone brings an experience that very few games can offer that aren't, say, party games, and that alone is a strong selling point to me. That being said, bring the squad with you just to amplify the experience, and I think it's a no-brainer for any fan of shooters. Matches last a long time, so there's plenty of opportunity to build up momentum and turn the tides. The progression system will keep you in for the long haul, but there's a constant drip feed of unlocks and a constant waterfall of bullets to keep your head spinning. There's also a level of mastery to develop when it comes to dealing with the bullet drop and bullet velocity and all the other stats that come with building your weapon. And the entire game has been developed by 4 developers. That's insane. It took my high school 100 students to figure out how to turn the intercom off when the button was just stuck. And you're telling me 4 people made a game that can hold 254 people with destructible bit? Oh man, whatever. Battlebit Remastered, check it out. I'll see you in the next one. He pops up and I kill him with the red dot. I'm ending the stream. I'm never streaming again. Oh, yo! No, I'm just nutty. Honestly, I'm just crazy. I'm crazy. I gotta end the stream after this. I thought I'd be streaming for longer today, but I guess not.